It is March 2nd, 2016, and I'm going to do a story out of the Oregonian about Pete Santilli. As it's titled, Pete Santilli to face detention hearing Monday in Portland on federal indictment in Nevada case. The story reads as such. A day after a federal judge in Oregon ordered Pete Santilli's release to a halfway house pending trial in the Oregon refuge occupation case, the federal government moved Tuesday to schedule a detention hearing for Santilli on his other federal indictment from Nevada. A hearing is scheduled at 1:30 p.m. Monday in U.S. District Court in Portland, allowing prosecutors from Nevada to present their argument. Santilli, 50, an independent broadcaster, is accused of a single federal conspiracy charge in the armed takeover of the Valure National Wildlife Refuge outside Burns and faces another indictment on conspiracy, weapons, and other charges in the 2014 standoff with federal officers outside of Bundy Ranch in Nevada. Prosecutors have accused Santilli of using his online dispatches as rallying calls to draw armed people to both the 2014 standoff in Nevada and the January 2nd takeover of the Federal Wildlife Refuge in Harney County. Attorney Thomas Cohen, appointed to represent Santilli, has argued that his client's speech is protected by the First Amendment and that the indictments are retaliation for his words. He's also argued that no one gave Santilli notice that his broadcast statements were unlawful. Assistant U.S. Attorney Ethan Knight, appearing Tuesday before the magistrate judge Stacey F. Beckerman, said he objected to releasing Santilli for a mental health evaluation before a detention hearing is held in the Nevada case. Federal pretrial services contracts with LifeWorks Northwest to do mental health evaluations, but they're not done while a defendant is in jail, according to a pretrial services officer. So Santilli would have to be released to the halfway house for the evaluation. What would happen is we'd lose him, Knight said. Meanwhile, Santilli's lawyer Tuesday filed for a discovery of motion. Among his requests is any information as to whether federal officers had super administrator privileges or backdoor administrative privileges with the PeteSantilliShow.com, Guerrilla Media Network, Santilli's YouTube channel. In another action Tuesday, Refuge conspiracy co-defendant Daryl Thorne, 31, was ordered to remain in custody pending trial. Knight said Thorne was arrested last month at a Motel 8 in Bend after leaving the refuge and booked into Multnomah County Detention Center on February 11th. In his motel room, federal agents found a .45 caliber handgun and Teflon-coated ammunition, which is typically used to pierce police body armor, Knight said. Thorne, according to Knight, also made threatening statements to federal agents upon arrest, including saying something like, "It's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and you kill one of ours." Knight argued that Thorne doesn't have stable community ties, his past substance abuse problems, and a criminal history. Thorne's court-appointed lawyer, Lori Schertz, countered that Thorne grew up in utter chaos with a mother who prioritized her drug use over parenting. She said Thorne wasn't arrested at the refuge and went to Bend because he had no other transportation home. She said he's worked in construction as a roofer and a framer. She urged that he be released to live with his girlfriend and her mother in Longview, Washington, or to a halfway house. Beckerman said she was disturbed by his long history of failing to appear in court and his reported possession of Teflon-coated ammunition. "I can't think of any other use for Teflon-coated ammunition," Beckerman said, "other than to harm police. When you have 10 failures to appear for court, you don't get the benefit of the doubt," Beckerman told him. So it's a very interesting story, to say the least, and it's a really good article of truth as to how they try to spin everything they can against somebody that is targeted. They are, every little thing, Teflon-coated bullets. Okay, big deal. So he had Teflon-coated bullets. Okay, that doesn't mean that he was going to shoot somebody with body armor. It just means that's the particular round that he chose to buy. That's it. Okay? And with Pete Santilli, you know, them talking about his, the words that he would say, the statements that he would make, rallying calls to draw armed people to both the 2014 standoff in Nevada. Okay, this, you know, it makes him sound like he is indeed a domestic terrorist. And we all know that he's not. Some people may not like the way he delivers his message. That's fine. But it doesn't change the fact that he is not a domestic terrorist. It doesn't change the fact that his words were protected under the First Amendment. He didn't, you know. In fact, I remember many instances where he was in Malheur Wildlife Refuge and he was telling people to bring flowers. Flowers. So now, is it a threat to tell somebody to bring some flowers? This is ridiculous, folks. It's ridiculous. We have to make it known as citizens of this country that we understand what our rights are and that we feel. You know, it's not just about what the judge feels. It's not just about what the prosecutor feels. It's also about what we, the people, feel. And you don't have to like Pete. You don't have to stand behind the way that he delivered his message. That's fine. But if you like to be able to speak freely yourself, then we might want to make it known